Hi there, it's Leah from the Centre of Key. And today I just want to tell you that I really think you are beautiful. You are amazing, you are stunning. You have so much potential and you are loved by so many. And maybe you haven't heard those words today, maybe you haven't heard those words for a while, but I really do believe that you are an amazing human being. The reason I'm sharing this with you today is I feel a lot of us are missing that piece of complete love and acceptance from those of us in our life, and especially from ourselves. We can be very self-critical, of how we look, how we feel, how we show up in the world. And I think it's important to recognize that you don't need to criticize yourself consistently. You don't need to beat yourself up when things go wrong. You don't need to blame or shame or be embarrassed necessarily about things that happen. You can forgive yourself for things that don't go the way you hoped they would. You can forgive yourself for the mistakes that you make. You can be proud of showing up day after day, being the mother, being the carer, being the partner, being the daughter, the son, whatever. And you are still loved no matter what. And I think it's really important, something that I've come to learn through my own experience, but from speaking to other people, is that we must cultivate self-love to really grow into ourselves, to love ourselves, and to be happy. I think happiness is something that comes and goes in our life, but to feel that sense of deep connection to who we are, to follow our path, we need to start to love ourselves and say those things to ourselves as well. I say to myself in the mirror every morning, I love you, and I think that's really important that I hear myself tell myself that phrase. I can't rely on hearing that from other people. I'm not saying that I don't hear that from other people, but I think it's important that it also comes from within. And speaking of looking at ourselves in the mirror, I think where a lot of us can be very critical is about how we look. We might not like the way our face looks. We might have a crooked nose, like I do, or funny eyebrows, or scars or things on our face that we're not happy with how we look, wrinkles, for instance. And then we might try to cover them up. We might try to surgically alter our face. We might use, cosmetic injections and things like that to change the way we look. But ultimately, whether we change the way we look or not, we're still the same on the inside. And it's really that connection to self, that conversation that you're having with yourself, where the true change and the true growth and the true beauty lies. I think once we start to love ourselves from the inside outwards, then that comes through in how we show up, how we look, how we appear to other people. And I'm not saying it's easy. It can be very challenging, and it may require things like therapy, psychological therapy. It may require counseling. It may require changing your life circumstances, leaving a relationship, starting a new relationship, whatever it is, it can be a hard road to get there, but it is so worth it in the end. And it is a continuous journey, continuous changes, continuous growth over time. And if we're not loving this journey that we're on, then we really need to look deeply and try and work out what steps we can take to choose a new path, to find a new path, to explore ourselves a little bit more deeply. This isn't really what I wanted to talk about today, but I've just gone into this zone and I really felt like sharing that today. So I hope there's something in this for you. It is a challenging topic, and dealing with self-love is confronting at the best of times. But just know that there are people out there who can support you in a positive way, who do love you unconditionally. And starting with yourself is a really key part of that. Forgiveness is important. Forgiving yourself for things that you may have done or experienced in the past that have hurt you. And being proud, especially of your achievements. You've come so far already in this lifetime. Don't dismiss that. Acknowledge your efforts that you've made to get to where you are. And it can be hard, when we're in the present to look back and think about those special times, even the small things that we can be proud of on a day-to-day basis are really worth acknowledging. There's so much power in that. And then committing to continuous growth. I think that's really important as well. We can sort of think we've come so far and get quite blasé or, lose momentum. But I think daily commitments to self-improvement is really, really important. And that could just be so simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to set massive goals and try and think you've got to conquer the world in one day. Each small increment is an important step forwards. And just know that along the journey, there will be steps backwards as well. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a constant process of forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards, just inching your way forwards and stumbling backwards every now and again. It's the story of so many people's lives, so many people that have come so far and done so much. You don't need to be the next Nelson Mandela or, oh God, our names elude me at this point in time. But just knowing that you are unique, you are loved, you have potential, and grow into that. Acknowledge that. Breathe that idea into you, and then go forth and use the tools that you have at your disposal to make that happen. Slowly, gradually, step by step by step. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my video today. I really appreciate you. My name is Leah. I'm a yoga teacher. I am a health and well-being enthusiast. I love personal development. I think it's so important for us to grow into ourselves and to change the world, to make the world a better, more vibrant and energized place. I wish you well on your day today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.